Hi everyone, this is the daily weather hazard briefing from the National Weather Service office here in Pocatello, Idaho for Saturday, March 30th. We've got more rain and snow for us as we go through the weekend, some of it already moving through parts of the area early this morning, and we'll continue doing so throughout the day. A little bit of a lull in the activity tonight. But don't worry, we've got more as we go throughout the day on Sunday. So that actually really summarizes most of the key points on this graphic. It's a little bit more organized and widespread, especially through parts of the southern hills and eastern highlands today. Again, most of the snow will stay in the mountains for us, but do expect some light snow down in the valley locations with temperatures hanging out right around freezing. But for those of us, in the main population areas like Pocatello, Idaho Falls, any light snow accumulation would mainly be on any elevated surfaces or grassy areas. Not really expecting a whole lot as far as any impacts on roadways or to travel. Like I mentioned earlier, brief lull in the activity tonight, but we've got a second push of moisture headed our way tomorrow. Basically a repeat of today, but with a bit more moisture, so some higher rain totals and snow totals. But good news, we do finally get a break as we head into the early part of next week. So by Monday morning, most of us will be pretty dry. Here's a look at satellite this morning. That low that's been sitting off the coast of the Pacific Northwest we were talking about over the last couple of days has dropped a bit farther south, now mainly off of kind of central California or so. You can really see it spinning well in satellite this morning, but more moisture is coming off of that today. We will see that actually kind of split, and a piece of that energy going to track basically right over southern Idaho tomorrow, but that's going to pull more of that Pacific moisture along with it, which again will give us a bit more as we get into Sunday. So with that, the weather risk outlook grid for today and tomorrow. For most of us, impacts will be minimal, but again, as you go up in elevation, you will start to see some more impacts, mainly in some of our passes or summits down in parts of the southeastern highlands, especially into some parts of the eastern highlands too. But keep in mind, a lot of us will see more rain than snow. As I mentioned, we get into early Monday morning. Still a few spotty showers hanging around through parts of the eastern highlands early in the day, but drying out. Overall, Monday and Tuesday, fairly dry days for us, but then we get into the middle part of next week, and that dry time will come to an end as we've got more headed our way in the second half of next week. Temperatures today are going to warm back into the 40s for most of us, so that's why those of us down here at the lower elevations will see more rain than snow overall. Generally should be less than an inch of snow, though, for those of us that are able to mix in a bit of snow from Pocatello to Blackfoot, Idaho Falls. You get a little bit farther to the east into areas like Soda Springs, Montpelier. Could be closer to about 2 inches of snow today. Again, more of the impacts are going to be down near the Bear River Range, Emigration Summit, where we do have a winter weather advisory in effect until this evening, where snow totals will be a little bit closer to that 6 to 8 inch range. Again, so some travel impacts are expected down that way. Similar if you're headed over Teton Pass, keep that in mind. Pine Creek Pass, not quite as snowy today, probably closer to about 2 inches of snow there. As far as rainfall totals for this, we could be looking anywhere from basically 1/10 of an inch to 2/10 of an inch down here from Idaho Falls to Blackfoot, Pocatello, over towards the Burley areas. Again, down here where we're expecting more rain than snow. By Sunday morning, temperatures are going to fall once again very close to freezing for most of us, so don't be too shocked if we do see some more snow mix in with the precip tomorrow, but still generally expecting more rain than snow for most of us down here. Since there is a bit more moisture with the second push, we will see some higher snowfall totals, again mainly through the mountains of the southern hills and eastern highlands. The central mountains really, both today and tomorrow, won't see a ton of snow. Kind of a general 1 to 2 inches today, maybe 2 to 4 at some of the higher elevations of the central mountains tomorrow. But again, kind of that Bear River Range into part of the Big Hole Mountains, we'll see some more appreciable snowfall totals tomorrow, getting closer to that maybe 8 to 10 inch range. As far as rainfall, I think a lot of us could be closer to about 1/4 of an inch to 3/10 of an inch of rain from Idaho Falls down to Pocatello and over to Burley. So, again, a bit more rain for us tomorrow. Highs on Sunday will make it back into the 40s for most, but we finally start to dry out as we head into the early part of next week. Keep in mind there will be some colder air around Monday morning. Will be a little bit breezier up near the Menida Pass area as some of that colder air comes in. Some gusts up there around 25 to 30, 35 miles per hour, while wind won't be too much of an issue for most of us throughout the weekend, though. We'll see some gusts around 20, 25 miles per hour. By Monday afternoon, though, once we finally dried out, finally cleared out a bit more, expect us to make it back into the 40s and even some 50s. And then that's kind of the trend as we get into Tuesday. Expect some even warmer temperatures for us. So again, overall, we've got some more organized and widespread moisture moving through today and tomorrow. For many of us, it will be rain instead of snow, but as you get up into the higher elevations, that's where you start to see more of the snow. A little bit of a lull in the activity tonight, but again, that second push of moisture will be around tomorrow. So if you're looking for a dry weekend, unfortunately, this is not that. But we do finally get a break in the activity early next week. For the most part, Monday and Tuesday look pretty dry. For most of us, Wednesday will be dry with that next system moving in from the northwest. But we get into the second half of next week, and that will be changing. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always send us an email or give us a phone call. You can find the latest weather information online on our website or, of course, social media. It's a great way to connect with us, too. Have a great day.